Hi, my name is Dr. Noushin Hart. I'm a radiation oncologist residing in Houston, Texas. And today I would like to share with you a machine that produces Kangen water. Right off the bat, I would like to talk about the myths about this machine. One of the myths about this machine is that this is simply a water filter machine. And this is way more than just a water filter machine. The other myth is about this machine only produces alkaline water, and that is not true either. It does produce alkaline water, but that is not all it does. The third myth is that this machine is too expensive, and I tell you why this is not a too expensive machine, because you're investing in your health. Water, our bodies, anywhere between 20-30% to 90% plus, our organs are made of water. Our bones, our dry bones, have 22 to 30% water in them. So the water you drink is critical and essential for your health. So I just recently had an MRI and it cost me $2,000. This machine is $54.80 US dollars. This is an investment you're making. The second reason that this is not a too expensive machine is that it replaces many products that you are already spending a lot of money on. And as I go through this different waters that this machine produces, I tell you what that water would replace in your current budget. So first of all, I want to draw your attention to this seal. This is a gold seal of Water Quality Association. And this machine, in addition to this, has many other certificates. In Japan, this machine is considered a medical device. The water they give to their patients in their hospitals is made by this machine. This machine has been around for 50 years. The company that distributes this machine, Enagic, has 43 offices in 26 different countries. This machine would last 30 years for you. So that's another reason that this is not a too expensive machine. You will be using this machine for 30 years. So the first water that this machine produces is called clean water. The pH of this water is 7. Now, our bodies have a range of normal pH, and that is between 7.35 to 7.45. If our body's pH drops below 7.35, we are in a state called acidosis. It's an abnormal state. And if the pH of our body goes beyond 7.45, then we are in a state called alkalosis, another abnormal state. I want you to pay attention. Drinking alkaline water or acidic water is not going to change the normal pH of your body, because you're not just a water tank. Your body is an intelligent, super intelligent machine that very carefully keeps the pH of your body between 7.35 and 7.45. What drinking alkaline water does is removes all the stress you're putting on that system to keep the water, the pH in that range. So the first water with pH of 7 is a neutral kind of water. You take your medications, supplements with this water. If you're in the habit of drinking water while you're eating your meal, you drink this water because you don't want to neutralize the acid in your stomach by drinking highly alkaline water. Also for your babies. Babies, when they're born, they are in alkaline state because they have not been exposed to all the damages from environment. So you don't need to give them alkaline water. You make their formula or you give them water using this clean water. So when I use this machine to create some clean water, I put it in a clean bottle, and for my supplements I take this water. Now The second type of water that this machine produces is called beauty water. Beauty water has a pH of 4 to 6, and when I use this machine to produce some, I put it in a little spray. This water is not drinkable. You use it for the health of your skin. This is going to replace all the toners, expensive toners that you buy to take care of your skin. You can also spray it on your hair. This is called beauty water, pH of 4 to 6, not drinkable. This is another money-saving produce that replaces all the toners you buy. The next water is called highly acidic water. Now, that pH is 2.5, not drinkable. And what I want to emphasize here is that an ionizer machine creates a pair of products that when you add their pH, it adds up to 14. So when you use this machine to produce highly acidic water with pH of 2.5, that water comes from this hose and deducted from 14, an alkaline water, highly strong alkaline water with pH of 11.5 comes from this hose. Neither of them are drinkable. And I'll tell you how you can use this. This highly acidic water is a very strong sanitizer. It kills 99.99% of germs. And it replaces all those products that we all have gotten used to buying after COVID. You don't need any of those anymore. You can just use this. And this one has some qualities that, because of that, would replace some of the products you're buying right now. The first one is detergent. Why do we use detergent? Because we want to get rid of grease on our dishes and on, wherever there's grease. Tap water would not by itself dissolve grease. This water would. pH of 11.5 dissolves grease. You can use this instead of detergent with all kind of chemicals in it to clean your dishes and even clean the top of your stove, anywhere that you want to get rid of grease. Also, for washing your vegetables and fruits, often, as you know, you see a produce that is like kind of shiny and oily. There's kind of a layer of wax on top of it where all these pesticides reside. And if you wash your vegetables and fruits with tap water, that is not coming off. You're eating that. You're eating that wax. You're eating that grease on top of the products with all that pesticide, which is carcinogenic and is really bad for you. Now, some of you might buy products that are specifically designed to wash your vegetables and fruits. This water would replace those because you simply wash your vegetables and fruits with this strong alkaline water with pH of 11.5. And it not only gets rid of all those extra stuff on the fruit and water, vegetables that is not good for you, it also changes the taste. You actually can taste the fruit and vegetable. Now, this machine produces 3 other drinkable waters. Their pH are 8.5, 9, and 9.5. Why? Because you don't want to go from a highly acidic water like tap water into a highly alkaline water. So when you get the machine, you first start with clean water with pH of 7, then you go to 8.5, and then you go to 9, then you go to 9.5. And that's where you stay. So as you can see, this machine replaces many products. It's very good for you because this is a detoxification machine. This is a machine that gives you ionized water, alkaline water, and many other products. And in the next sessions, I will show you in demo how this water is different from our other waters that we use, and basically show you how objectively the claims that makers of this machine are making are actually true. Thanks for your attention. In this section, I would like to show you the liquids I have selected for our demo. The first one is Sprite to represent sodas. Then I chose club soda because a friend of mine said club soda is better than soda. I drink club soda. I want to put it to test. This is tap water from my house. I live in Conroe, Texas. Obviously, tap water from city to city or region to region could be different, but this is the tap water in Conroe, Texas. Then I have filtered water made by my refrigerator. Some people think that filtered water is good enough, so we'll put that to test. Reverse osmosis is a filtration system that came with my house. Many houses have reverse osmosis. Some people buy reverse osmosis water from Whole Foods or any other place. So we want to put that to test. And I bought this alkaline water. Seems to claim that is ionized, claims that is alkaline with a pH of 9.5. And I'm comparing it with Kangen Water pH 9.5 to see how these basically show with different tests as we do the following demo. Thank you. Many of you have heard the term antioxidant. In fact, your doctor might have told you, please take your vitamins because they are antioxidant. What does it mean and why does it matter? When our bodies are injured, they produce something called free radicals. Free radicals are atoms with an unpaired electron. And an antioxidant is something that gives an electron to that free radical and makes it neutral. Therefore, that free radical would not damage your DNA. When we're exposed to chemicals, pollution, eating sugar, drinking alcohol, eating meat, these all produce free radicals in our body. And free radicals are responsible for inflammation, for disease, for aging. Now, there are situations that free radicals are good for us. Those are acute stress to our body. For example, if I get an infection, my own immune system would produce free radicals. Why? Because it wants to use the free radical as weapons to kill the bacteria. So for acute stress, that's a good thing. However, you do not want to have a lot of free radicals in your body in a chronic way, because that would cause chronic inflammation and damages your body. So it is important what kind of water we're drinking. Is it oxidizing or is it antioxidant? This is an ORP machine or monitor, which has this probe that when you dip in a liquid, it tells you a number. The numbers that are positive show that that liquid is an oxidizing liquid. And if the number has a minus in front of it, if it's a negative number, that shows that that liquid is an antioxidant. In this section, I will be testing pH of all these different liquids. And the reason is that we have two types of water here that claim to be alkaline. And one of them is Kangen water, which is alkaline without addition of any chemicals. The machine ionizes water and creates alkaline water. And for that reason, it's a very stable alkaline water. As opposed to this alkaline water that I bought from store, these in its ingredients, there are at least 3 chemicals that have made this water alkaline. And because of that, this alkaline water is not a stable alkaline water. In fact, if I had a straw and blew air in this cup, you would have seen that the color changes from alkaline to acidic. The rest of the liquids, we're gonna drop 4 drops of this liquid. which basically changes the color of the liquid. On this range, you see that depending on whether it's acidic or alkaline, the color would be different. As you witnessed, by putting a few drops in each one of these cups, we now see a range of pH coming from highly acidic, which is the Sprite, towards highly alkaline, which is the Kangen water. Now, what is interesting is that if I use this highly alkaline water and pour it in the ones that are acidic, you will see that they start changing color towards becoming more alkaline. And it depends on how much of alkaline water you need to put in the cup to make it completely neutralize. Some of these, especially these two, club soda and Sprite, doesn't matter how much of alkaline water you add to them, they would stay acidic. In fact, for each cup of acidic water, you would need 32 cups of alkaline water to make that water alkaline. In this section, I'm going to use this solution, which basically changes the color of these liquids depending on how much chlorine is in them. So what you just witnessed was that I swished tap water in my mouth and added the solution to show how much chlorine is in the tap water. You can see the tap water, which I had not swished in my mouth, is highly yellow, has a lot of chlorine. What did happen to this water? Why is it white? Why it doesn't have any chlorine? Because in that few seconds, my mucosa of the mouth absorbed the entire chlorine in the water. That is the danger of chlorine. We absorb it very quickly. You all have experienced going into a pool where the water is chlorinated and you come out and you're relaxed. You're not relaxed, you're poisoned by all that chlorine that you absorb through all of your skin and mucosa. So in this section, I'm going to show you how the fruit and vegetable that we wash in tap water or any water that has chlorine in it changes the dynamic. So I'm going to cut a few pieces of potato and drop them in reverse osmosis that has some chlorine. And a few in tap water that also has chlorine. Now, shake it a little bit, give it a few minutes. As you can see, gradually you see the color of the yellowish color of chlorine in this tap water has been removed. Now do the same thing with this, and you see this color is being removed as well. And why that is that the potatoes are absorbing the chlorine in tap water, right? In this section, what I did, I cut a few pieces of potatoes and dropped it in tap water, which, if you recall, it was highly yellow because it had a lot of chlorine. I did the same thing with reverse osmosis water, which was less yellow, but it did have chlorine. And you see that they have lost the yellow color. And the reason for that is that potatoes absorbed all the chlorine in the water. That is what happens when you wash your fruit and vegetables with tap water. The vegetable and fruit absorb the chlorine, and you'll be eating them. In a study in Finland on more than 600,000 people in 56 different towns, they measured the effect of chlorine on development of different cancers, and it showed that bladder cancer, breast cancer, and rectal cancer were highly increased in the towns that had high chlorine level in the water. Just because you drink water, it doesn't mean your body is absorbing it. It's true for food too. Just because you're eating food doesn't mean your body absorbs all the nutrition. It really depends on the molecules of water or food. One of the specifics of Kangen water is that it has what is called a microcluster, meaning that the molecules are much smaller than tap water, which has macro clusters. And we can show this by using green tea bags, Lipton. People are all familiar with it. Usually when you want to make tea, you boil the water, because by boiling water, you're changing macro cluster to micro cluster, and that is when you see the color of the water changes because you're making tea. Now with Kangen water, because it's microclustered, it doesn't need to be boiled. This tea bag represents one of your body's cells and how it absorbs or does not absorb the water you're drinking. So this is Kangen water, and I'm going to dip this tea bag in it. And I'm going to do the same thing with tap water, and I give it a little bit of time. As you see, the color of Kangen water cup is changing because the micro clusters of Kangen water are entering the tea bag and pulling the color or the tea into the water. And you give it time, you see the color is getting stronger. However, that is not happening with this tap water. And you might say, well, you know, the tea bag was dry. Maybe if it's wet, it would make a difference. So we put a wet tea bag in a second cup of tap water, and it doesn't change the color either. And then we put this one, which is the wet tea bag, in this and shake both of them. And again, we see that really the difference was not because the tea bag was dry or wet. It's because tap water has macro clusters of water and Kangen water has micro clusters. That is why whatever Kangen water you drink, you can be sure that your cells will absorb it. And that is not true with tap water. One of the 7 types of water the Kangen water machine produces is a highly alkaline water with pH of 11.5. This water is not drinkable. However, it has many other uses. You can use this water in replacement for your detergent, because one of the specifics of this highly alkaline water is that it dissolves grease. And for that reason, you can literally wash your dishes with this water and toss your detergent. It can also be used in washing your fruits and vegetables. As you may know, our fruits and vegetables, most of them anyhow, are covered by this waxy, greasy layer that contains all the pesticides that farmers have used to protect their farm. And washing your vegetables and fruits with tap water would not take that layer away. So even after washing them with tap water, you will be consuming and digesting that grease, that wax containing all the pesticides that are very bad for you. Now, this highly alkaline water with pH of 11.5 removes that layer from your fruits and vegetables, and not only makes it healthier and safer for your consumption, but also it makes it tastier, because after removing that layer, you can actually taste the actual fruit and vegetable. So in this part of the demo, I have soaked some tomatoes in tap water and some in this 11.5 pH Kangen water. And now I'm going to separate water from the tomatoes. To see how much of the layer, greasy layer on the tomatoes have been dissolved. And you can see that the color of the one soaked in 11.5 pH Kangen water is yellower because it has dissolved the layer on the tomatoes, and this one has not made that change. That is why this tomato now is going to be tastier and healthier for you. You might have heard saying that oil and water don't mix. Well, if that's your tap water, that might be true. As you see, I have added some pure sesame oil to this tap water, and like you see, the oil is sitting on top of the water as expected. However, when adding the sesame oil to Kangen water 11.5, you see that it is not, the color is not as strong, and you see that it's dissolving in the water. That is how this water can be used to clean your dishes, get grease off anything you want, including your fruits and vegetables. At the beginning of this demo, I showed you 7 different liquids. We tested them together, and we all know what the results were. Now I want to show you all the 7 kinds of water that this machine would create for you, and how much money you can save by tossing the old products such as soda, club soda, tap water, filter water from refrigerator, reverse osmosis, even that expensive alkaline ionized water that came in a plastic bottle, like most of bottles come in. You don't need to buy any of those. You would help environment by not using these products that come in plastic. You have your own machine and you can put it in your own glasses. For 30 years, you will save on those products. To reiterate, 11.5 high alkaline water by Kangen would be replacing your detergent, would be washing your vegetables and fruits, and would clear all the tops that are greasy. The 9.5 pH drinkable water would replace all of the plastic bottles of water you might buy from stores. 9 is another pH alkaline water drinkable, and 8.5 drinkable alkaline. 7 is what we call it clean water, which is used for taking your supplements, or if you're used to drinking water with your food. The pH 7 is what you drink with your food, and also for your babies, for baby formula or even water, giving water to babies, you use this water. Then comes pH of 4 to 6, which would replace all of your expensive toners. It's very good for your skin, hydrates your skin, very good for your hair. And the last but not least, pH of 2.5, which replaces all of your sanitizers that we have gotten used to using after COVID. If you would like to purchase this machine, please contact me, and I will take care of all the paperwork and everything else. For the website for Enagic and Kangen Water, please look into the comments. Thank you.